Good morning, Judge Morrow. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hope you are as well. That's why. Who do we have first?
Your Honor, if I
Position
could,
3, Mr. Anderson.
if I could just have a second, Your Honor, we have two new soon to be ASGs with us, but this morning they're practicing under the 3L Practice Act. We have Ms. Christine Kim and Mr. James Birch on the line. They will be facilitating with us today.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Welcome, Mr. Birch, Ms. Kim. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And this is position number 3, is that right?
Yes.
I have that there's a waiver of arraignment.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Anderson had his arraignment waived on July 21st, 2022. I know he had a status conference earlier this month and was put on the SAP calendar. I don't know if there's something we needed to address, if we could just put him on the trial schedule.
Okay, so I guess he just needs to be returned to the division judge and he'll get notification of his next hearing date.
Okay.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Anderson.
I checked on the bond.
Position 4, Bell.
I don't have no attorney, man. I represent myself.
Okay, all right, hold on for me, Mr. Bell. Good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah, pro se.
Okay, all right, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present to represent you this morning. We have provided you with the assistance of a public defender if you would like to utilize the public defender today. I'd be happy to give you the opportunity to speak with them. Is there a reason that you don't want to use the public defender?
Yeah, I don't trust public defenders.
Okay. Well, you understand, Mr. Bell, that you've been charged in case 23 CR 0000166B with harassing communications, and the solicitor is seeking to have you serve 12 months in custody for this alleged offense. Okay.
And I also want to raise the issue of insanity during the time after that crime, because when I got released, the judge had sentenced me to Riverwoods mental health treatment facility and on St. Jude. I had the option to choose one of them. I went to Riverwoods. The Tuesday I got released, I went to Riverwoods, but the referral, Marissa Graves wasn't there, so they couldn't let me in. They wanted me to pay.
Okay, Mr. Bell. Okay, so we're only talking about this charge today. It sounds like you want to plead not guilty to this charge. Is that right?
Yeah, by reason of insanity.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a mental health evaluation conducted on you. Okay. And so let's see, Mr. Durdens, can you assist the court with preparing a mental health evaluation for the court?
Yes, Judge, I can do that. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Bell, we're gonna have you evaluated for your mental health, okay?
Yeah, and
Okay, and we will once we get that report back in, you'll be rescheduled for court, okay? All right, good luck to you, Mr. Bell.
Position 6, Bush.
This is gonna be a negotiated plea.
yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Bush. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Bush. Good morning, Ms. Dillingham.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this case occurred January 7th, 2023, where officers responded to MARTA station at 435 West Peace Street. The defendant had entered the prohibited trackway at MARTA and pulled the emergency string, causing the train to stop operation, which disrupted the rail services. So for that reason, the state is recommending a 12 months to serve, 36 days, credit for time served, 18 days, balance suspended, a stay away order from all MARTA stations, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding of the agreement, and we do stipulate to the factual basis, venue and ID.
Mr. Bush, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000114E, you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of certain acts on a bus rail station prohibited. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept your plea, Mr. Bush. You understand you can't go back tomorrow, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Bush.
Position 10, Dotson.
This is also going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor, we do stipulate to the factual basis, venue and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Dodson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Is that a yes? Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Dodson. Ms. Dillingham?
Yes, Your Honor. This case occurred January 9th, 2023, at 695 Field Street Southeast. The defendant was approached when he was caught sleeping in somebody else's vehicle, and the officers approached him and he ran off. So this is a time served recommendation of 12 months to serve, 32 days, credit for time served, 16 days, balance suspended, and a stay away order from that address, 695 Field Street.
Anything further, Mr. Dodds?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Dodson, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000149E, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Dodson. Good luck to you, sir.
Position 11, Echols.
Also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor, we do stipulate to the factual basis, venue and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Good morning, Mr. Eccles. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court, the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Put your hand down, Mr. Eccles. Thank you. Ms. Dillingham?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a time served recommendation, but because of some of the conditions, I am going to have to state the facts. This occurred January 7th, 2023, 3530 Piedmont Road, where defendant was in a physical altercation with the victim, caused harm to her by pushing her several times towards the couch and the wall, also grabbing her neck area and causing her head to hit the wall. She suffered bruises that were visible. And so, excuse me, for that reason, the state has recommended time served 12 months to serve 36 days, credit for time served 18 days, balance probated, no further contact with the victim Cheney Johnson, a stay away order from that address, 3530 Piedmont Road, FVIP course, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, and 12-week anger management.
So we have a simple battery, family violence, and a battery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and it's just a straight battery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Dodos?
Yes, Your Honor, and I just spoke with Mr. Eccles. We're prepared to go forward with the plea. We would ask for his probation fees to be waived to help him out with the classes and for him to switch to non-reporting status, on completion of FVIP. Mr. Eccles would also like a one-time sheriff's escort to the stay-away address to receive his personal property.
Okay, any objection to non-reporting, Ms. Dillingham?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Eccles, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0000116B, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery, family violence, and battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Eccles, I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation and help you get and stay on your feet. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. I'm also going to allow you to go back to the Piedmont Road address on one occasion with law enforcement officers to retrieve any belongings that you might have there, okay?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Have a good luck to you, Mr. Eccles.
Thank you, sir.
Position 4, I'm sorry, position 4 on the add-on. Mr. Jones,
Position 4, this is going to be a non-negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge, and that's Attorney McLean's case. I speak with his client, he's headed over. Position 4 on the add-on.
That is ready, Your Honor.
All right, let's see. Good morning, Mr. Jones. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Yeah, you're on mute, 5 North.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Since this is a non-negotiated plea, who do we have on from pretrial this morning? Oh,
Good morning.
good morning, Ms. Hudgens. I hope you're well.
I am well. So I'm going to get his history. Hold on one second. It just disappeared from me. Okay, so Mr. Jones, he has a total of 4 cycles according to the GCIC. One is a misdemeanor, so, and then he has, it looks like he has an open case. Let me get the case number. For possession of a pistol or revolver by person under 18 years. The case number is 22SC181454. That's in Fulton County. And he does have an FTA in 2022, but on the GCIC, I do not see any convictions. I just see a couple cases that don't have a disposition.
Okay, the open case, is that a misdemeanor case or felony case?
It is. It is not notated on the GCIC, but let me check Odyssey real quick. Let me check Odyssey and see what it says.
Okay, Ms. Dillingham, do you have that he has another pending possession of a pistol case?
I did not have that, Your Honor,
I'm double checking, Your Honor.
but
as
I'm
we
double
speak.
checking as well.
Yeah. Because it may be closed, but that's on the GCIC. Hold on. Mm. 2, 4, 5. That case.
So I have that he had an aggravated assault on a peace officer, however, it was dismissed. And the other charges were not presented to the grand jury.
Okay,
And he has another armed robbery case that was also DWAP'd.
so the pistol case in Odyssey, it says it's open, it's a misdemeanor, first offense. 8/22, file date 8/22/2022
And what's the case number?
is 22CR005603Y. Let me go to case manager.
That's
Is that-
that's the
That's
case.
this case. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
All right, so that's this
I
case.
apologize. So no, he's
Okay.
not.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you all for clearing that up. Ms. Dillingham?
Yes, Your Honor, this was a firearm possession case, so the state is recommending 12 months to serve.
Can you give me the facts, please?
Yes, this incident occurred on Sunday, August 21st, 2022. Officers responded to 1935 Allison Court Southwest after being informed of 4 to 5 gunshots near a building where they saw a male that matched the defendant's description. The security then informed the officers of the incident, and the officers made contact with the defendant who did match the description.
A male that matched the description of the defendant, in other words, is the defendant, right?
Yes,
There was no accusation, was there, that he fired the gunshots, correct?
right now the accusation is possession of a pistol that he was found with at the time.
Right, and if he had fired the gunshots, they could pretty well look at the gun, smell it, find out that it had been fired in the last couple of minutes.
Hold on, Mr. McLean. I'm going to let you make your argument. Ms. Dillingham, go ahead and finish your recitation, please.
Yes, Your Honor, discovery is still being conducted on that case regarding whether or not the gun was fired.
Okay, anything further?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. McLean?
I have a question. Are we all in agreement that he has served, that he has spent time in jail for several months now on this charge? How many months?
157 days.
Your Honor, on a 12-month sentence, normally with 2 for 1 good behavior, a person does 180 days. He is asking to let the court let him get this behind him. Despite my advice, he says, I'd like to plead guilty and simply ask for time served. I've been here 157 days on something that I would spend 180 days if I took a maximum sentence. Wouldn't it be fair to just do the 157 and put this behind me? So I said, well, I can't stop you from doing that. Let's go ahead if you want to do an unnegotiated plea and ask for time served.
Okay, well, he does understand that I will make the final decision as to whether to give him time served or not. I could give him time served with the balance on probation and some other stipulations that would go along with that with regard to that matter. So if this is going to be a non-negotiated plea, he must understand that whatever decision that I make, that it will be the final decision and that he will have to abide by what decision it is that I make if he wants to do a non-negotiated plea. Once I announce my, and let me just be clear, Mr. McLean, given the nature of the charge, although he has been in jail for 157 days, I need to hear something about, does this young man have a place to live? Is this young man in school? Is this young man working? Because if I do let him out on 157 days, I can guarantee you that I'm going to have the balance put on probation. I'm going to have some stipulations put along with that. Okay.
Your Honor, we did discuss the notion of having classes, community service, probation, And he feels those things are reasonable, and he feels that he is capable as soon as he's released of doing that sort of thing. He is a bright young man. I've talked to him. How far he's gone in school, I believe it was 11th, if I'm correct. And I believe he does have a place to live, but he'll have to say what that is. He has a significant other, and he's,
How old is he, Mr. McLean?
I believe right now is he 17? What's the birth date?
Mr. Jones, how old are you?
I'm 17, Your Honor.
Okay.
And you're going to be living with your girlfriend, is that correct?
My mother?
Your mother, and is your girlfriend going to live there too?
No, sir, my siblings and my mother.
Okay, just siblings and mother in this case.
Where's his mother today?
She is not here, Your Honor.
Have you spoken to his mother?
I have not. She is probably at home taking care of his younger siblings. Some of them go to school.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, Mr. McLean, I'm gonna give you the opportunity. Do you know what his mother's name is?
I've got that, yes.
I'm not gonna put this young man, 17 years old, back out on the street and he's telling me that that he's gonna live with his mother without his mother being here and without me being able to talk to his mother.
Right.
So I'm happy to, I'm doing the SAP calendar on Thursday. I'm happy to give you until Thursday to raise his mother and to give her the opportunity to be here so I can talk to her about her son and his living arrangements and what is going to be expected of him if I allow him to get out of custody and not take the state's recommendation. Okay.
Well, that certainly works for us, Thursday or Tuesday or whatever day is convenient for the court.
Well, it's good. All the dates are convenient for me. You just tell me I'm going to be here on Thursday. I'm going to be here on Tuesday.
I believe we can get her by 2 days from now.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Jones, I'm going to reset your case until Thursday to see if we can get your mother here. Okay. That's going to be reset until the 26th.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll see you back on Thursday, Mr. Jones.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Who do we have next?
Position number 8 and 9.
Is Ms. McLeod with us?
Yes, she's here in the courtroom.
Oh, okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And what are we going to do with Mr. Jesus today?
Your Honor, he is going to be taking a plea. We have 3 positions, and also he informs me that there may be a stipulation with his probation, which had just started or about to start just before his arrest. So we
Okay.
were hoping we could resolve that issue as well. But he does want to accept the state's offer on his other open issues.
Okay, so do we have someone from probation here to address that? So what you're saying, let me make sure I've got you correct, Ms. Loud, that Mr. Jesus is on probation at the current time, and you're concerned that if he pleads guilty to these charges, that's going to affect the probation that he's currently on?
No, Your Honor, apparently he was on probation before. And he was supposed to start, but then he got arrested.
So he
Before actually go to probation and get his.
He was on probation for something that's not one of these charges before?
That is correct, Your Honor. I'll let him explain.
Okay.
So I'm currently on felony probation in Fulton County. I wasn't assigned a probation officer because when I went to do the orientation, they were so backed up. So they told me they were going to call me back on a later date. The number that I called that they gave me to do phone reporting was not active. So I went to a residential program, which I left 6 days before I got arrested this time. And the program had got in contact with who my probation officer was. When I left, they didn't give me that information. So I'm being told I'm being held on probation violation for not doing the fingerprinting, which I just found out about. So I would take the plea offer guilty to all the open charges, but I'm wondering if you guys could contact probation to see what the probation offer is gonna be, since I just started probation on September, and I originally signed 3 years to serve 12 months with the completion of anger management, which I already completed 15 courses.
Okay, so is that felony probation?
Sounds like it, Your Honor. I was not.
It is.
Okay, so I don't know so you're gonna have to contact probation regarding that, Ms. McLean.
I'll contact.
And Your Honor, if I may, for the record, the case that they are talking about that he was on probation for, he did violate probation. The no further contact order was against Angelina De Jesus, who was the victim in this current case.
Okay, so, all right, well, I don't have, I can't do anything about that, especially given that it's a felony probation.
I believe Mrs. De Jesus is on the Zoom, Your Honor.
Okay, so, but I don't know if we don't have, what is she gonna be able to help me with regarding this probation issue?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Okay, so you tell me, what are you asking the court to do today regarding this matter? I can't do anything about the probation because that's not before me and that's a felony probation. So do
I
you
understand,
want to
Your
get,
Honor. I did not realize it was a felony probation when he first told me about it.
do you want to get that sorted out before you take the plea? Or do you want to take the plea and then have him sort that out at a later time?
He wants to take the plea and then sort it out.
Okay, all right, and you must understand, Mr. Jesus, that as we have completed the plea paperwork, that if you plead guilty to these charges, that those guilty pleas could affect your underlying probation that you're currently on. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr.? That's the right one. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, sir. I see you there, Mrs. Jesus. I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak, to address the court if you like to at a later time. Let me find out what all this is about first, and I just wanted to acknowledge that you're there, and then I will speak with you if you desire to do so in just a few minutes. Ms. Dillingham.
Yes, Your Honor. So would you prefer to start with position 8 or 9?
He's position 7, 8, and 9, correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
Let's just go down 7, 8, 7, and 8, and 9.
Great. Okay, so for position 7, this incident occurred on September 10th, 2022. While sitting at a red light, an officer observed the defendant make an erratic right turn around the officer's car into the opposite lane. The officer pulled over the defendant and immediately observed a strong odor of alcohol. The defendant confirmed with the officer that he had been drinking. His eyes were bloodshot and he had a BAC level of 0.075. So for this, the state is recommending time served 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance probated, an ADET course, the risk, the RR course, no alcohol, drugs, weapons, and no driving.
I also have 40 hours of community service and a $300 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And did you also say victim impact?
I had the alcohol drug evaluation treatment course and the risk reduction course.
Okay, so you don't want him to do a VIP, victim impact?
That was for the next case, I believe.
Okay.
So the conditions for each recommendation are different for.
I understand, but normally when you have a DUI, the state recommends the ADT, the risk reduction course, and victim impact statement. If you all don't want that,
Yeah, it was part of the.
We will continue with the victim impact as well then.
Okay. Was that your understanding, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, it was part of the state's offer.
Okay, all right. Okay.
That's gonna just gonna go towards the improper passing on the right lane, well, that's gonna be merged or dismissed.
Okay, and what are you gonna do with the improper passing, Ms. Dillingham?
That can merge, Your Honor.
Okay,
And the fine was $300.
okay. All right, let's move on to position 8.
Yes, Your Honor. Position 8, this incident occurred October 16th of 2022. Officers responded to 1204 Grovehurst Drive, Johns Creek, which is the address of the defendant's wife. The victim in this case was Pramanchi Panagiri, who is a friend of both the victim and defendant. The victim was helping the defendant's wife move into her new apartment, and the defendant was enraged due to a relationship between the victim and his wife. And he punched the defendant in the face multiple times. Officers observed severe swelling to his eyes and multiple lacerations to his face. The victim was transported to the hospital, and further, the defendant continued to harass the victim on Facebook with posts that we have screenshots of, where he was boasting about beating him up. So the state is recommending the 12 months to serve, 32 days, credit for time served, 16 days, balance probated, no further contact with Pramanchi Panagiri, and a stay away order from 1204 Grovehurst Drive, along with 12-week anger management.
Okay, and position number 9.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred January 8th, 2023, where officers responded to a domestic dispute at 1204 Grovehurst Lane, the same address as the previous position. After returning home from rehab, the victim in this case, Angelina De Jesus, the victim's wife, allowed the defendant to stay in her apartment for a few days. The defendant and the victim invited a friend over for a sexual encounter. And the defendant grew enraged due to something that occurred during that encounter and kicked in the victim's door. So for that reason, the state is requesting 12 months to serve, 32 days, credit for time served, 16 days, and a no further contact with Angelina De Jesus, who, as previously mentioned in pretrial, they have a current open case where that probation was violated, which was an aggravated stalking case against her, which occurred September 17th, 2022, and a no further contact order was issued, and that has since been violated with both of these cases. So we are also asking for a 12-week anger management course and restitution of $350 for the door.
Okay, and for position 8 and position 9, that 12-week anger management is just one 12-week anger management, not two 12-week anger managements. Is that right?
That's fine, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further, Ms. Dillingham?
Nothing
Excuse
further.
me.
There's one thing, Your Honor, we weren't quite sure what the $50 for wallets was. I asked my client and they didn't know what that was. Said
What was that?
$50 for wallets. 300 for door, 50 for wallets.
So it was stated initially that there were wallets taken in the amount of $50, but as of now, the state is requesting $300 for the door because that was not confirmed.
Okay, so I'm sorry, what was and was not confirmed?
My apologies, Your Honor. It is $350, $300 for the door and $50 for wallets that was taken from the victim in this case, Ms. Jesus.
Okay, is that just did you get receipts for that or any kind of,
I just saw the note from our victim advocate that confirmed there was a conversation that she stated that the wallets were taken.
okay, I'll ask Ms. De Jesus.
Yeah, please do. Excuse me.
Okay.
I don't, I don't,
Hold on a moment, ma'am. Ms. McLeod, I'm gonna go to Ms. De Jesus first. Is that all right with you?
That's,
Okay, Ms. De Jesus, if you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
I would like to question about the statement that was just made about wallets missing. I'm not familiar with that, and I don't, I need to be enlightened a little bit on what that is about. I also feel like that night there was zero reason literally for what happened. And if I can add to that, I'm going to add to that. But I would like to know what the wallet thing is about because I don't recall anything like that.
Okay, so you're not asking for $50 in restitution for a wallet.
Nope.
Who spoke, which victim advocate spoke with the alleged or the victims in the case, Ms. Dillingham?
I will have to go back, Your Honor, if you could give me a moment. I can pull that up.
Okay, and was it your door, Ms. De Jesus?
I'm sorry.
Was it your door that was damaged?
Yeah, it was my door. Legally, the apartment is in my name. So yes, our
Okay.
door, or I don't know what to call it. I would like to go in a little bit more depth about the situation other than the context that's already been put out. And I disagree with some of it.
Okay, so I'm giving you that opportunity now. What would you like to tell the court?
The only thing I want to say, which is huge, is that I really believe the truth to why this occasion occurred, as far as the outburst, is because of drug usage. That has been a huge problem in our marriage. I'm just realizing there is a pattern of Antonio using. And that is the only thing I can think that would cause what happened that night to me, which is kicking my door. And then subsequently, after that happened, hung up with 911 and took 2 blows to the face, which I haven't been able to produce that evidence yet to the court. I have it. I really didn't think this would go there, but I'm a little confused about the wallet thing. There was absolutely no reason for what happened to occur other than that he stated he wanted his cell phone and that he didn't know why that happened, which is unexcusable in my opinion. We had an agreement to communicate if there was urge or feeling or whatever about the usage, and that didn't happen. And subsequently, after this incident happened, I had to physically live with that for the next week, being sore, being in pain, having bruises. Again, I haven't gotten my evidence over to the court yet, but I have it. I feel like a lot of what has occurred in all these cases and in past previous stuff is because of drug usage. I've done everything that I can, and I know that, to help him out, to be there in the marriage, to be present, especially this last time. And everybody was engaging in this situation. I went to the store, came back. He wanted to leave. He packed his things. I didn't know why. I was very understanding and embracing, wanted to talk about it. Didn't want him to leave. Was very confused. And then there were some things said to me. And so that's why I decided to help him put his things out of my apartment, which he had already packed. And if you want me to go into that, I can go into that.
No,
Your
I
Honor,
don't,
but-
I don't need you, I don't need you to go into that, Ms. Davis. Let me,
Yeah.
let me make it clear what my ruling is gonna be based on, the negotiated plea between, Mr. De Jesus and the solicitor. He's gonna have to have, an alcohol drug evaluation and treatment if necessary. And he's also going to have no further contact with you, okay? No further contact means no contact whatsoever. So that means that you cannot have contact with him also, otherwise he'll be violating the terms of his probation. No contact means no contact whatsoever. No phone contact, no physical contact, no internet contact, no social media contact, absolutely no contact whatsoever. All right. It appears to me that he has an underlying charge, and had that no contact not been violated, that none of this possibly would have happened. That's why no contacts are put in place. No, you can put your hand down, ma'am, because that's going to be the order of this court. No contact whatsoever. Okay. You have any questions about what I just said?
No, I just wanted to interject that I didn't know about a no contact order, and that's,
Okay, well, that's what people
Thank
say.
you.
That's what people say all the time, that they didn't know about it. That's why I make it clear that I go through what no contact means. No contact means absolutely no contact.
I understand that.
Okay, very good. Ms. McLeod,
Yes, Your Honor.
anything further?
Nothing further except to say that was my understanding of the state's plea offer. And this is what I-
Okay, all right. Ms. Dillingham, anything further?
Your Honor, if she is not requesting the $50, we are just gonna ask for the $300 for restitution for her door.
Okay,
As
so-
well as a stay away from her address.
all right, very good. Mr. De Jesus, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 006136Y, you wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence of alcohol less safe. In case 22 CR 006960Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery. And in case 23 CR 000153Y, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. De Jesus, you're gonna have to be on probation for the entire time. As such, I'm gonna waive the probation fees for you to help you get and stay on your feet. All right, good luck to you, sir. And you also, Mr. De Jesus.
Question real quick.
Can we do positions 2 and 3 on the add-on calendar?
Yes, you should have no further contact with the victim in position number 8. She's listed on the calendar.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that was for her full name or another person name. I thought it was-
Yeah, that's her.
Your Honor, position 8, the victim was different. It was Pramanchi Panagiri. Position 9 was.
Yes, yes, that's on the calendar. And
Okay, perfect.
I'll let Ms. Lewis know that.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, who do we have next?
Position 2 and 3 from the add-on calendar?
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, while we're getting that, I have an announcement change. Number 20, outsourced to Cobb. I've now had an opportunity because they brought him from Cobb. I'd like to change that to the same announcement as number 18, which is to waive his presence and arraignment jail jury. He is not necessary to be here, and we don't need to go through anything else.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. McLean.
Thank you.
Judge, position 2 and 3, the family is important.
Okay, let's see, this is Mr. Hanson, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Hanson. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Hanson? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Hanson. Just so you know, Mr. Hanson and Mr. McLean, Mr. Hanson's family is in the courtroom with me this morning, okay? Who's presenting for the state?
Excuse me?
Oh, hold on, Mr. Henson. Mr. Walker, is someone going to present? Oh, Ms.
This
Todd.
is my case, Your Honor, and I am so sorry if you'll give me one moment. Sorry, my computer's acting up on me.
Okay.
Could we, while I'm trying to reboot, could we move to a different position?
Nope, we have him here, so we're gonna have
Okay.
to boot it up or have Mr. Walker step in for you if necessary.
Okay, I do apologize, Your Honor. I'm trying to get it back up and working.
Okay.
I believe number 20 is free to leave if they want to take him back.
You done with,
Mr. Walker, are you there?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Are you free? Are you free to it? Are you, can you?
Yeah, let's see what we can work out. So I do recall that position. Give me 1 second.
Brian said he's done with them, but
Position 2 was a reset from last Thursday, I believe. This is where the defendant is, I actually think he's 20 years old, but he was found to have possession of a handgun, marijuana, and basically took the officer on a foot chase. I did reach out to the principal of the school. I don't know if you remember the facts of this case, but he was expelled from the school at the time of the arrest. And speaking with the principal, she stated that the expulsion did end this past December. The state has modified its offer to 12 months to serve, 365 days, credit for time served, 19 days, balance probated for him to finish high school or obtain his GED, a 9 p.m. curfew, and 100 hours of community service. Since this is a non-negotiated plea, I would ask that pretrial services reads the history.
I have us negotiated, Mr. Walker.
As I believe y'all modified your offers so that he could go on back to school, right?
That was never communicated. The offer is on the calendar. Did you see it?
I see it. Did you hear the offer, Mr. McLean?
Well, I believe I saw it in the email yesterday, but basically, Your Honor, last week, wanted to have 3 elements done. Your Honor was going to take care of the curfew if he was going to live with his grandmother, family, and back in school. I've also talked to the principal, and he will be back in school. She's going to give him another chance back in school. And I've talked to the family, I've talked to the mother, the father, and the grandmother is amenable to him living there with her. That leaves the element of the curfew.
Right, and I did speak with the principal. She did confirm that expulsion was over, but she was concerned because the defendant has chronically been absent. She said it was to the point where she was paying for Ubers for the defendant to come to school. So
that was very kind of the
principal.
She does need his, they have an afternoon session and they have a morning session. And she does need him to opt for one or the other. She would prefer the afternoon. So I told her that I would get his information. Can you go to the afternoon session?
Okay, before we get to that, I just need to know, I've got down on that this is a negotiated plea.
My mistake, Your Honor. I thought that the modification was such that would be similar to what he was amenable to. Your Honor, if he could go back to school and be on probation and have community service, he'd be glad.
Okay, so this is a non-negotiated plea and you're asking for jail time to be decreased.
Decreased to time served, right?
19 days?
To the time he's been in now, right?
Okay.
And
so you were correct, Mr. Walker. I'm gonna need, so let's start this from the top then. So let me first hear, because I don't have a clear recollection from last week. Let me hear from pretrial as to what the history is.
So, Your Honor, this defendant only has 6 cycles. Most of the cycles that are on here is on the calendar. He does have a conviction for a misdemeanor case, a hit and run, duty of driver to stop or return to scene of accident, out of Cobb County. That's the last conviction I see, and that was in 11/24/2020.
Okay.
And yeah.
And give me 1 second.
And out of Douglas County, he has an arrest from January 3rd, 2023. It's a felony for willful obstruction of law enforcement officers.
And that is,
I
that's-
can't find a disposition, so it's probably still open.
and that's a felony?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any information regarding that charge, Mr. Walker?
Give me 1 second, Your Honor. Let me go to a different screen. I do not see anything in Odyssey. Was that in Fulton County? The felony obstruction?
It's out of Douglas County. It was
Oh,
on 1/3/2023.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
For willful obstruction. I couldn't locate the disposition, so I'm not sure if it's still open or not, but it just happened in January 3rd.
Okay, so it's probably still open, but no, Your Honor, I don't have any additional information about that
Thank you.
incident.
All right. You can continue, Mr. Walker.
Okay, Your Honor, on May 2nd of last year, the defendant was located at the school, which is Skyview High School, which is a charter school. Like I said, police were called because he was suspected to have a gun. Upon making contact with making contact with the defendant after a foot chase, a black Taurus G2C serial number TMC 99295 handgun was found in his backpack, along with marijuana. At that time, he was arrested for possession of a firearm by a person under 18 and possession of marijuana less than an ounce and obstruction. Like I said, I did speak with the principal of the school in this incident. He was expelled. And she said prior to him being expelled, he never came to school. So that speaks to why the state's offer is what it is.
Okay. And tell me again, is he eligible to go back?
She said he did become eligible this January.
So yes, he is eligible.
Yes,
Okay.
He is eligible to come back now.
Okay. And tell me about the theft.
So, in that incident, he was working at a BP. I will have to get the gas station location, but he basically stole $1,000 out of the cash register.
And
All right, thank you. Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, he is remorseful, certainly on the theft and the other matters, and is quite willing to pay the $1,000 restitution and wants to be on probation on the theft charge. On the gun charge, he will not have guns, and he will attend faithfully to his high school, and he's not that far away from graduating. He is eligible to go back now. The housing plan is for him to live with his grandmother. I believe his family is in court and can confirm that.
Okay. Tell me who's here for Mr. Hanson?
His mother and his father.
Okay. Would you like to address the court?
I can.
Okay. All right, good morning, sir. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. State your full name.
DeWarren Franklin.
Okay, Mr. Franklin, and you are Mr. D'Angelo Hanson's father?
I am.
Okay, and his mother's here with you also?
She is.
What's his mother's name?
Angela Hanson.
Okay, and what would you like to tell me about D'Angelo?
Well, attesting to the school, I went to the school myself, sat down with the principal and his teacher, Mr. Green. We all came to an agreement that D'Angelo is eligible to come back to school, just on the terms that he does not have a weapon. From via conversation about me and Mr. McLean and my mother, she agreed that the housing would be up under him. Up under her, I'm sorry. And that's pretty much it. That's all the information that I do have.
Okay, where is D'Angelo gonna be living?
With my mother at 6590 Short Road in Fairmont, Georgia.
Okay, and has he was he living there prior?
Yes, he was.
Okay,
And that's the home that he was in when he was going to the school, Skyview High School.
okay. Anything else that you want to tell the court?
No, sir. Just outside of, and I know this probably too much, but it's today, he's just turned 20 today. So we want to say happy birthday to him.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I might interject, I think a hiccup in behavior occurred. I think the grandmother was not happy about one of the arrests that she heard of, which would have been probably the BP matter. I'm not sure, I could be inaccurate, but basically she put him out. And then this occurred. So it wasn't from a negligent supervision by her that is a factor in causation here. He had bad judgment and he is responsible for his actions. But I don't want the grandmother to be seen as a inadequate person providing housing. Thank you.
Okay, anything further from anyone?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Nothing to say.
All right, Mr. Hanson, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 002680Y, you wish to plead guilty to obstruction. First of all, I'm just gonna make sure, I'm not sure. Did I already swear you in, Mr. Hanson?
Sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 002680Y, you wish to plead guilty to obstruction of a law enforcement officer, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and carrying a weapon in a school safety zone or school function as a license holder. Is that correct?
Sir.
And you'd also like to plead guilty in case 23 CR 000102Y with death by taking. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept your guilty pleas, Mr. Hanson. The court sentence is going to be 12 months to serve, 38 for the obstruction. Well, let's start with for the obstruction, possession, and carrying a weapon in a school safety zone. 12 months to serve, 38 days, credit for time served, 19 days, balance probated. You are to stay in school at Skyview High School. You are to attend school on a daily, regular basis until you obtain your high school diploma. You are to have a curfew that is going to be from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. You are to live with your mother in her home. You are to complete 100 hours of community service. As
Grandmother, Your Honor.
grandmother, thank you. As for the theft by taking, the theft by taking is going to run consecutive to the other charges. That's going to be 12 months to serve, 38 days, credit for time served, 19 days, a theft course, restitution in the amount of $1,000, and you are to stay away from the BP gas station. I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet, but you're going to be on probation for the entire 2 years. Just know, Mr. Hanson, I'm giving you the opportunity to get out of custody, but if you violate any of these, if any of this, and let me say this for you all too, if he violates any of this, any of these conditions of probation, if he leaves school, if he gets into any other trouble, if he's not, if he violates his curfew, if he does not, if you do not perform your community service, then this probation is going to be revoked. You understand me? You're going to be right back where you are, Mr. Hanson. All right. So, let's see. It appears that today's your birthday. So happy birthday! It's your 20th birthday. You're getting an opportunity here, Mr. Hanson. You can turn this around. Okay. I'm giving you the opportunity to turn it around, but you're only going to get this opportunity. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right, make good on it, Mr. Hanson. Any questions from anyone?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Position 24.
Hey, one second. Your Honor, I have Mr. McCray from Cobb County. Cobb County's here to pick him up, but he also needs some information regarding his case. He's a little confused of what's going on. I want to put him on in front of you now so Cobb County can take him back.
Okay. And what position is he?
20.
Position number 20. And what's the issue?
I'm waiving arraignment. I'm waiving formal reading of the accusation and asked to put him on the jail jury, Your Honor.
Okay, I thought we'd already taken care of that.
I thought we had.
Okay, so he'll get notification of his next hearing date. The case will be returned to the division judge.
He has a question, Your Honor.
I'm trying to find out who my representation is. It seems like I'm always, you know, I'm being locked up going on 160 some days, but I always get last notice. I never, you know, have time to prep with my lawyer or my attorney. Other than to the fact it's always last minute. Like, I'm trying to figure out who my actual attorney is.
Okay, Mr. McCray, it's my understanding that as far as today goes, that you have been represented by the public defender. You will continue to be represented by the public defender as long as you qualify for their services. Does he qualify, Mr. McClellan?
I believe he does, Your Honor. He is in custody, and I believe he is assigned for trial purposes to whoever has the odd or even is usually how they split it up. We have 2 public defenders in each trial courtroom, so
okay,
it goes that way.
And it's my understanding, Mr. McCray, that the offer from the state for this battery family violence case number 23 CR 000304E is going to be 12 months to serve, 296 days, credit for time served 148 days, which means that it's a time served offer. The balance is going to be probated, a stay away from the incident location and the family violence intervention program. It's my understanding that you do not wish to accept that offer today. Is that correct? Is that a yes? Okay, all right. And because of that, your case is going to be reset and it's going to be returned to the division judge, and whoever the public defenders are in that division, since you qualify for their services, they will be representing you as you move forward, okay? All right, good luck to you, Mr. McCray.
Can we do a breakout session with 4 North and Mr. Dolly?
And what position is that?
He's position number 1 and 2.
Yes. Judge, if I could have a breakout room, I'm PD Angela Dotis on the Zoom, and I'll step into the hallway real quick. For just with me and 4 North.
Oh, just with you and 4 North?
Yes, I just need to
Okay.
be quiet real quick.
Okay, all right, so, can we put Mr. Dodos and 4 North into a breakout room and then take some cases that are either Ms. McLean's cases, if she's there, or Mr. McLean's case?
I have Miss McLeod. I don't know. Who's the other?
Yeah, I have Ms. McLeod still has add-on 1.
Yes, Your Honor. I think they're trying to locate him now. Add-on 1. You're trying to, that was Matthews, Your Honor. Was supposed to be David Matthews, but another gentleman was brought, his last name is also Matthews.
I have add-on 1 is Damian Bradbury.
That's what I have, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Bradbury is also my client.
Okay, so
I have position 24. I'm not sure who's representing him, but he's on 3 South, position 24.
okay, position 24, is that your case, Mr. McLean?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. And 24 is going to be a waiver of arraignment?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, so we don't need Mr. Ogletree. He's waived arraignment, and Mr. Ogletree get notification of your next hearing date. Your case will be returned to the division judge, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else we can take? That's Mr. McLean's case.
Position 19, Mr. Matthews Alonso.
Okay, this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Matthews. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Surely do, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Todd.
Yes, Your Honor. So the state's offer in this case is a time served offer of 18 days with a condition of a stay away from Gallery 874 located at 874 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard.
Mr. McLean.
Nothing to add, Your Honor. Thank you. He asked the court to accept that.
All right, Mr. Matthews, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0001138, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and loitering and prowling. Is that correct?
That's also correct.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir. No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
I'm satisfied, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, I understand about the jury.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir. Nobody is forcing me.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Matthews. Good luck to you, sir.
Come on, Miller. Position 21, Miller. Put your mask up for me, Miller.
This is also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Miller. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Miller. Ms. Todd?
Yes, Your Honor. This is another time served offer of 14 days and a stay away from 813 Coleman Street.
Mr. McLean?
He asked the court to accept his agreement with the negotiated plea.
Mr. Miller, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0000173A, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Miller. Good luck to you, sir. They're still waiting for 4N to be added to the breakout room. So can we add 4 North to the?
They dropped off the Zoom, Judge. I'll put them in it. when
Okay,
they
thank
come
you.
back.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Fort North is signed on right now, so they went
Okay, all right. Thank you. Who do we have next?
positions 22 and 23, Nettlesbury.
Okay, and this is a negotiated plea also.
It is, yes.
Good morning, Mr. Nettlesby. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. Todd.
Thank you, Your Honor. For position 22, the state is offering time served of 12 days and a stay away from the H.E. Holmes MARTA station. If the plea is accepted, we will be no processing position 23.
Okay, Mr. McLean.
Nothing to add, Your Honor. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea.
Mr. Nettles, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 002396J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Position 25, Ramsey.
This is also a negotiated plea.
It is, yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Ramsey. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sure, come on.
Good morning, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. Ms. Todd?
The state's offer is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days with the balance suspended, and a stay away from local expedition at 1110 Hammond Drive.
Mr. McLean?
That is correct, Your Honor. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty.
Mr. Ramsey, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000163F, you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of giving false information to law enforcement officers. Is that correct? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
Now, you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Ramsey. Thank you, sir.
Position 29, Ward.
This is also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, and good morning, Mr. Ward. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony that you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, just so that counsel knows Mr. Ward's wife is in the court with me this morning. Ms. Todd?
The state's offer in this case, Your Honor, is 12 months to serve 22 days, credit for time served 11 days with the balance probated, as well as paying $500 of restitution.
And what's the restitution for?
The restitution is for the damage to the vehicle that the defendant did do when he hit Miss Karen Lowe's vehicle when he backed up into it.
Any objection to the probation terminating when he gets the restitution paid?
We would object to termination. We will accept non-reporting.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have it terminate. Anything further, Mr. McLean?
Nothing on that, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ward, it's my understanding that in case 19 CR 003599E, that you wish to plead guilty to hit and run, driving while license suspended, or, okay, I need for him to listen to me while I'm talking, Mr. McLean, so you let me know when you're ready.
All right, he just turned to me and had a question on it, but
Okay, I'm happy to give you time to answer his questions before I go on.
let's take a minute. Let me make sure he's ready.
Okay.
Have any other questions about? No, it doesn't mean 12 months to serve, it means 12 months probation, but the probation stops when you have paid the fine.
Okay, are we ready? All right, so just so you're clear, Mr. Ward, this is a time served plea. So if you don't have anything else holding you in custody, you're gonna get out. And you're gonna owe restitution of $500. And when you get the restitution paid, then you won't be on probation any longer, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me start at the top. Mr. Ward, it's my understanding that in case 19 CR 003599E, you wish to plead guilty to hit and run, driving while your license is suspended or revoked, and improper backing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Ward. I'm going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation, and when you pay the $500 in restitution, the probation will terminate, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Ward.
Also, Your Honor, there's the case 28 and at extension 2-2392, if I can get the date, I have a counter offer on that case.
Oh, sorry.
I'll give you a call, Mr. McLean.
Okay, great. I think we'll work that out. Thank you.
Position 1, Mr. Bradbury.
All right, so hold on a moment for me. I've got a question for Ms. Lewis.
Okay.
What is your question?
My question is, can you please be clarified on the charge that they're taking and the restitution amount on to? If they got several charges, I need to know if they're gonna be merged, or it's gonna be individually, or do they all run consecutive, concurrent?
Okay, so so let me just answer that. All these charges, the hit and run, the driving while license is suspended, and the improper backing, they're all gonna run concurrent. The $500 in restitution is gonna go with the improper backing, and for the other two, it's gonna be 12 months to serve, 22 or however many days, credit for time served, however many days. Okay? Who do we have next?
Position 1, Mr. Bradbury.
Okay, Mr. Bradbury's position 1 on the Adam calendar.
Sit wherever they say.
And I believe this is Ms. McLeod's case.
Thank you.
Bradbury is.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes, and so what are we doing with Mr. Bradbury today?
Your Honor, I haven't had a chance to speak with them about the state's plea offer because I just learned about it today.
I think it's the same thing.
So you need to speak with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and he is at, does he have is there a phone at 3 South?
Yes, I can call them.
Okay, thank you. So let's have Ms. McLeod speak with, Mr. Bradbury.
Thank you.
Position 32, Williams. Oh, I think this is, you know what? I think that's McLean's case. He's on the phone. Okay, go ahead and have a seat right here. Position 17, Kipsang.
All right, and this is gonna be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Kipsang. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. Todd?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a time served offer of 18 days and a stay away from the AG Homes MARTA station.
Yes, Mr. Dodes?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding. We stipulated the factual basis, venue and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Mr. Kipsang, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0000123B that you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, is that correct?
That's correct.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? You're gonna have to speak up for me, Mr. Kipsang.
Oh, sorry about that.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Oh.
You are satisfied with his representation?
Yes, yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Can you say that again?
You don't want a jury trial, do you?
A judge call?
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you do not want a jury trial, is that right?
Right.
Has anybody forced or coerced you to plead guilty? Is that a no?
No.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Kipsang. Good luck to you, sir.
McLean, you're next. Position 32, Williams.
Your Honor, we're going to announce a negotiated plea on Mr. Caleb Ward's other case.
No, ain't got nothing to do with me now.
What you do Eric talking about? Let me see what Eric talking about. Maybe like a little boy up there with that dog.
Okay, so this is position 32, Mr. Williams?
No, Your Honor, I was just saying that one that I mentioned that we were going to negotiate, we've done that. I was just letting the court know that one's ready too. This is.
Okay, so who do we have?
Mr. Williams, I believe his first name is Charles, if I remember correctly.
Position 32, Williams.
Okay, that's what I said. All right.
Before we go any further, did they know Mr. Ward was on the counter for position number 28?
Yes, they're talking to him.
Oh, okay, so they.
Yes. Yes, and I believe his wife is still here. Okay. All right, so good morning, Mr. Williams. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, I do as well.
Is that a yes? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Williams? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Mr. Birch.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's offer in this case is 12 months to serve 24 days, credit for time served 12 days, balance probated, anti-theft course, no further contact with Randall Sims, and stay away from 180 Jackson Street.
Mr. McLean.
he understands and he has the court to accept his negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Williams, it's my understanding that in case 18 CR 004623F, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you've given up your right to a trial by jury.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone force or coerce you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Williams. I'm going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the anti-theft course, the probation is going to terminate, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the sooner you get that theft course done, the sooner you're not going to be on probation, all right?
Are you waiving the fee?
I am.
No, you have to find it. You have to find it and pay for it and do the theft course.
Okay, yeah, I can only waive the probation fees to help you, Mr. Williams. I can't waive the fee for this course, all right?
Mr. Williams, it's up to you to find whoever gives it the theft course, and there are many providers of that.
okay.
So it'll be a private company.
Okay.
Okay.
Positions 1 and 2, Allen.
Thank you. You bet.
No. I think it's me. Yeah. I think you're the Adam one.
Okay, so for Mr. Allen, I have that there's a waiver of arraignment for position number 1, and for position number two, that there's going to be a request to set aside the bench warrant.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll submit that waiver as soon as we finish here today.
Okay, did he miss a court date?
Yes, Your Honor. I think he missed a court date in November. There was a return to sender, which was sent to an address that he no longer stayed at. I have an updated address for the court that he will use. He told me when I spoke with him yesterday that as soon as he received the notice, he went to court, and a court employee mentioned that there wouldn't be any issues and it would just be rescheduled. And that never happened, and the bench warrant was issued. But he has provided me a new address, so this won't be an issue moving forward.
Okay, Ms. Dillingham?
Yes, Your Honor, we had recommended that we would actually null pros this if he agreed to plead to the first case, position 1, but if he is not agreeing to that, that's off the table. So we are gonna remain, I believe there was a bond issued for the FTA. Let me just pull that back up.
Yes, I have a $3,000 surety bond for the FTA.
Yeah, so we would just ask that the bond remains the same.
Okay, what I normally do in these cases is, yes.
This is a orchid case, and the FTA will issue once that is compromised.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I am going to return this case to the judge that gave the bond, which was me. So because I gave the bond, I am going to, because if you have a new address, Mr. Durdes, make sure that the court has that address, and I'll set aside the bench warrant in the matter. So if you will prepare that, I'll get that signed.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Allen. Looks like he's gone now. Okay, what do we have next?
Position 1 on the add-on, Mr. Bradbury.
Are we ready? Ms. McLeod for Mr. Bradbury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, what are we gonna do with Mr. Bradbury today?
He will be accepting the state's offer, Your Honor. He will be.
Good morning, Mr. Bradbury. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Dillingham?
Yes, Your Honor. So this was a time served offer of 12 months to serve 46 days, credit for time served 23 days, balance suspended, and no further violent contact with the victim, in this case, Randolph White.
Okay, Ms. McLeod?
That is my understanding of the offer, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bradbury, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000028A, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Were you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Judge.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, Judge.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
No, Judge.
You don't want a jury trial, do you, Mr.
No,
Bradbury?
Judge. No, Judge.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Judge.
I'll accept your plea, Mr. Bradbury. Good luck to you, sir.
You too, Judge. You have a happy new year too, Mr. Monroe.
Okay, have a good day. Who do we have next?
Position 12, Mr. Francis.
This is going to be a non-negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge, the only issue was jail time. So if the state agrees to an update, he's actually only has credit for, I believe, 5 days for this charge. He's not being held on this. So if the state would agree to it, we just ask for a served 10 days credit for time served 5 days.
It appears, Ms. Dillingham, that the intent was to have this to be time served. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor. This was, as long as the conditions are still honored, we are agreeable to that. So this is a time served.
Okay, so 12 months to serve 10 days, credit for time served 5 days, balance suspended with, is there a stay away or no further, well, what are the other conditions?
No drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Okay. All right, anything further, Mr. Dennis?
No, Your Honor, we stipulate to the factual basis, video and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Okay, Mr. Francis, it's my Mr. Francis, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down, sir. Mr. Francis, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 004962Y, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Francis. Good luck to you, sir.
Position 33, Woodall,
Yes.
McLean.
33. And what's the announcement on Mr. Woodall?
Your Honor, I believe the state would like to request a reset on this case. We're still waiting back on the DA's office regarding a transfer to their office.
Okay, and
That's correct, Your Honor. We're just waiting to hear if this case is going to stay here or not.
all right, do you want me to put this on next week's SAP calendar? Does that give you enough time, Ms. Kim, Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so it'll be reset to the 31st. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. We'll possibly see you back next week, Mr. Woodall.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Who do we have next?
We're completed here in courtroom 2, Judge. Unless Mr. Cloud, do you have any more?
One more Caleb Ward, Karen.
Who?
One more case for Mr. Ward.
I just wanted to ask the judge to excuse me.
Oh, you're excused, Ms. McLeod. Will I see you this afternoon?
Yes, Your Honor, you will.
Okay, I'll see you this afternoon then. Have a good rest of your morning.
Thank you.
28.
This is position 28 for McLean.
Okay, and what are we gonna do with this charge for Mr. Ward?
Your Honor, this is a negotiated plea now. He made a counteroffer. The state found it acceptable. And so he will plead guilty.
And let's see, Ms. Todd, can you put on the record what the offer is?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is 12 months to serve, 16 days, credit for time served 8 days, with the balance probated, no further contact with the victim, Miss Kevina, that's K-E apostrophe V-I-N-A, Newton, common spelling, and an FFIT course.
And who is Kevina Newton to Mr. Ward?
I'll let defense counsel answer that one if he has an updated relationship status for them.
I believe there's no relationship, whatever. Nowadays, they haven't seen each other in a long time.
Okay, I had a young lady in court with me. Do we know what her name was? Was she here? I think she was here for Mr.
That would be his spouse, Your Honor. Somebody.
Oh, okay, okay.
She's the wife in that position number 27. Think Ward.
Okay, well, he's back. This is
He's back in the county.
this is Mr. Ward here.
Yes, 2 cases, 20.
Right.
28 and 27. 28.
I had a young lady in court with me. I believe that she was here with 2 children on Mr. Ward's case. Who would that have been?
That's his wife.
What's her name?
What's her name? Shahar.
Okay, so that's not Newton.
No, no, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay. Anything further, Ms. Todd?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McLeod? Thank you.
Nothing, McLean. Nothing further, Your Honor. He understands that FVIP is a very involved course. It takes almost 6 months to complete. It's kind of expensive. And so the course asked the court for a financial break to help him on that.
Okay. Mr. Ward, you are still under oath from the previous case. In this case, it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty in case 19 CR 007565Y to battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes, sir.
You can represent it by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone force you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'm going to accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Ward. I'm going to waive the fees for you while you're on probation and help you get and stay on your feet, but you're going to have to be on probation for the entire 12 months, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Ward. 12 months to serve, 16 days, credit for time served, 8 days, balance probated, no further contact with Kevina Newton, and a family violence intervention program.
16.
That's correct. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Ward. Who do we have next? So, okay. Are we gonna go to the ACDC South Annex? Is anyone present at the ACDC South Annex to assist the court? I know they don't have these young ladies just sitting there without supervision.
Judge Morrow, we're trying to contact him now.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go. Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I wonder where you are, Officer Melton.
I had to run a mile.
Who do we have?
No, tell me your name. Deshavion White.
Tell me your last name again.
White.
White, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 30. One case has her last name, I believe, is Nakia, but her name is Deshavana Nakia.
That's my middle name.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
all right. Ms. White's positions 30 and 31. Good morning, Ms. White. I'm Judge Eric Mara. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Which one?
Right hand.
I'm sorry.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Ms. White. Mr. Birch?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's offer is 12 months to serve 24 days, credit for time served 12 days, balance probated, anti-theft course, no further contact with Ayanna Watson. And Ms. White is also position number 31 on today's calendar. And if the plea for position 30 is accepted, the state will be null processing position 31.
Okay, Mr. McLean?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. Thank you. She does ask that the court accept her negotiated plea of guilty.
Ms. White, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 002476F, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking. Is that correct?
Correct.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Does anyone force you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. White. I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation, and as soon as you complete the anti-theft course, the probation will terminate, okay?
Okay.
So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't be on probation.
All right.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. White.
All right. Thank you.
And of course, that would take care of number 31 as well, Your Honor.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And with all those null process that the state has, if you'll get those to Ms. Lewis at your earliest opportunity, I'll get those signed and we'll get them entered.
Is there any particular way I need to handle the misnomer on 30? I'm just going to just print on her plea paperwork, Deshavana Nakia White. I'm just gonna put it that way.
Okay, that's fine. Who do we have before me?
27.
Say it again.
27. Position 27, Ms. Sims.
Okay,
This is Shelley Sims, number 27.
and this is gonna be a negotiated plea.
It is.
Good morning, Ms. Sims. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Ms. Sims. Thank you. Ms. Todd?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's offer is 12 months to serve 16 days, credit for time served 8 days with the balance probated, 40 hours of community service, a DET, risk reduction, a $300 fine, and a VIP course.
And I do recall, Your Honor, that my client asked me when we were interviewing yesterday that the $300 fine, if she could do all community service, that would help her.
Okay, that's fine with me. Let's see. So she's also charged with expired tag, unregistered vehicle, driving while license is suspended or revoked, speeding, reckless driving. What's going to happen with those charges?
They'll all run concurrent and the reckless can merge into the DUI.
Okay, reckless is merging, so concurrent. And for the ones that are running concurrent, it's just going to be 12 months to serve 16 days, credit for time served 8 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Got that, Ms. Lewis?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, anything further, Mr. McLean?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Sims, it's my understanding that in case 20 CR 003098F, you wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, expired tag, or unregistered vehicle, driving while your license is suspended or revoked, speeding and speeding, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Ms. Sims. I'm gonna waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation.
Thank you.
And when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay?
Okay. So will this be explained to me more? Cause I live in Cobb County and I'm going to Chat Tech for criminal justice and I work. My job still is holding my job for me. And I just got a vehicle that I must make payments on. And I'm trying to stay off of drugs. So is there any way I can get all of that in Cobb County so I don't have to come back to Atlanta? Or
You can talk with the probation department when you sign up and discuss with them regarding how the probation is going to work for you, okay?
okay.
Okay, they'll assist you, okay?
And of course, Your Honor, I did explain to her that if this is the first DUI, I believe she will be quite eligible for a limited driving permit from DDS.
Okay,
Are y'all offering that now? Do you got paperwork? You want the judge to sign a DUI affidavit for it?
If somebody has available the paperwork, that would be super.
Please.
okay, Mr. McLean, you follow up on that. And if you will get the paperwork from Ms. Lewis, I know that we do have some here in the court, or you're gonna have to make sure to follow up on that with Ms. Lewis. I'm happy to sign it, but you're gonna have to get it to Ms. Lewis, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be back at the office at 100 Peachtree shortly after.
Okay, very good. Ms. Sims, good luck to you.
Next, we have position 26.
This is Khadijah Sidibe, Your Honor, number 26.
Hello.
Okay, and this is a negotiated plea.
It is, Your Honor, yes.
Good morning, Ms. Sidibe. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Todd.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's offer in this case is 12 months to serve, 22 days, credit for time served 11 days with the balance probated, and a $500 fine on the fleeing charge.
Okay. Mr. McLean.
I believe, Your Honor, the only thing to add is that in our interview yesterday, I believe she did request that I ask the court for on the $500 fine to make that community service. Is that correct, Ms. Sidibe?
It is correct. I don't think I keep the fine. Because how many hours community service is it?
Now's the time to make your final decision on what you're asking for. If you can pay the fine, pay the fine. If you need it half and half, you can ask for that, but let's.
It would be 50 hours.
Okay, that's fine.
Which
What's
one? What's fine?
So the community service.
All right, so 50 hours of community service. Anything further, Mr. McLean?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Sidibe, it's my understanding in case 23 CR 000306A, you wish to plead guilty to no insurance, fleeing, or attempting to elude a police officer and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Sidibe. Let's see. I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the 50 hours of community service, the probation will terminate, okay? So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. DeBay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have position 13, Ms. Frazier.
What's the announcement on Ms. Frazier?
Yes, Judge, I've been trying to send some messages into the Zoom. So this might be to the ASG. I don't know who's assigned. This might be a non-negotiated plea. There's only one, the only issue with position 13 is the 8 weeks of anger management. Ms. Frazier is fine for position 14. The state is offering FVIP, which Ms. Frazier is fine with. We'd like that to just run concurrent with position 13 instead of having to separate 8 weeks of anger management. Ms. Frazier has a plan and is set up to go once she gets out. And we don't want too many conditions to hold her back.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so tell me what's, so you're taking the anger management off of position 13, is that what we're doing?
That's my understanding.
Yes, Your Honor, as there is 8 week, as the
FVIP.
8 week anger management was agreed to for position 14. I believe that's what,
Okay, so you,
so it's just taken off of position 13.
right. But position 14 has FVIP. Is FVIP still for position 14? Okay,
Correct.
that's what I thought. Okay, so the only change is the 8 weeks of anger management is not going to be required for the battery charge, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, Ms. Frazier, good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Good morning, ma'am. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Can you raise your right hand for me?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I think you're going in and out on me, Ms. Frazier. Can you raise?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down, Ms. Frazier. Ms. Dillingham?
Yes, Your Honor, the recommendation for position 13, the battery charge is 12 months to serve, 32 days, credit for time served, 16 days, balance probated, no further contact with Latana Albritton, and a stay away order from the address of the incident, which is 1865 Wells Drive Southwest.
Okay, and for position 14?
For position 14, the recommendation is 12 months to serve, 32 days, credit for time served, 16 days, balance probated with a stay away order from Tamiko Frazier, and a stay away, my apologies, a no further contact with Tamiko Frazier, and a stay away order from the address of the incident in this case, which is 2591 Etheridge Northwest Drive, and then the 8 week anger management, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and FVIP.
You don't want FVIP and anger management, do you?
No, Your Honor, my apologies. I believe we're just doing FVIP and taking away the 8 weeks anger management.
Right, okay. Mr. Dodes?
Yes, Your Honor. In addition to that, since she will be on probation, we would ask for Ms. Frazier's probation fees to be waived and for her to switch to non-reporting status upon completion of FVIP. And we stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and IDs for the purpose of this plea.
Any objection to non-reporting?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Frazier, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0000152Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery, and in case 20 CR 002065Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery family violence. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and if by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the pleas as negotiated. Ms. Frazier, I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, Ms. Frazier.
Thank you. Your
Who do we
Honor,
have?
position number 5, Juanica Brown, she refused.
Okay, so she refused to come to court today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
She's saying that she don't have no attorney that came to her. And she is, what kind of case she has. So she just said, I said, you need to come to court. She said she just flatly refused.
All right, Mr. Dodos, was this your client or were you assigned to?
Yes, Your Honor. I went to see Ms. Brown and I spoke to her. The only thing she told me was send all the discovery to myself, walk out the door, so I didn't have a chance to give her any information or advise her. So that's a process. Yeah.
All right, so I want to put her back on the calendar. Should I mean, she has a time served. Yeah, I hate for her to be sitting in jail when she didn't have to be sitting there. So I'll put her back on for Thursday. I can either put her back on for Thursday or next Tuesday. What do you think?
Next Tuesday.
Oh, she has a felony hold, I'm being told. So let's put her back on for next Tuesday, 1:31, to see if we can, get her here by then.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll try and get her to come.
All right. Is that all you have, Officer Milton?
Yes, sir.
All right. What happened to position number 16? Mr. King, I have hold for announcement.
Yes, Your Honor. The jail staff's checking right now. We're still trying to locate him.
Oh, they're trying to locate him.
I couldn't find him yesterday either, so I haven't had a chance to speak to him.
Okay, so let's read the offer on that is 12 months to serve 365 days. So let's reset him till next week also, 1:31.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right, and I think that takes care of everyone. Thank you, Officer Milton. I'm going to see you this afternoon.
No, sir.
All right, well, you be safe. We'll see you next time.
I might just log on to say hello.
Okay, I'll be here.
All right,
Okay.
bye.
Bye-bye. Yes. And not to bring, so. As soon as Ms. Lewis is ready, we'll go over the calendar for this morning. If everyone will please get their paperwork in as soon as possible to her so that I can get that signed.
Yeah, I'm about to go pick up all these people. I'm just gonna, I'll be gone for a minute. The only thing to make it more redundant was if his middle name was Alec.
All right, so let's start with the add-on calendar first. Please make sure all the non process is a restitution. Mr. Walker, can you please inform your people to give me the information on the restitution? I need their contact address, or we can properly get the probation. I can record that on my paperwork.
Okay.
He's going to email it to me because Zoom's going to go down, so they need to email it to me. Please.
Okay, we'll do.
Add-on number 1 was a plea. Add-on number 2 and 3 was a plea. Add-on number 4 is going to be sent to the SAP 126. Prosecution calendar. Position number 1, defendant waiver arraignment, cases we set for trial for the notice. Position number 2, bench warrants will set aside, cases we set for the notice. Position number 3, we set for a jail jury for the notice. Position number 4, do y'all want to be sent to a competency calendar or do y'all just want to be sent to the next regular SAP? I'm supposed to get an MAD done.
Any,
Yeah, I'll put it on
thoughts?
the competency calendar since y'all.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so it'll be reset. So I think we'll say, February the 9th. So number 4 is gonna be set to the February 9th competency calendar. Position number 5 is set for SAP for 131. Position number 6 was a plea, 7 was a plea, number 8 and 9 was a plea, number 10 was a plea, number 11 was a plea, number 12 was a plea, position 13 and 14 was a plea, position number 15, defendant was released, case is set for notice, position 16, case is set for SAP 131, position 17 was a plea, position number 18, credit waiver arraignment, case is set for trial for the notice, position number 19 was a plea, position 20, defendant waive arraignment, case is set for trial for the notice, position 21 was a plea, position 22 was a plea. 23 is non-cross, position 24, defendant waive arraignment, cases are set for trial for the notice, position 25 is a plea, position 26 is a plea, 27 was a plea, 28 was a plea, 29 was a plea, 30 was a plea, 31 is a non-cross, 32 was a plea, position 93 is reset for the SAP for January 31st, 34, 35 is the defendant was released, case is set for the notice. Any questions that are starting?
Okay, if not, thank you all. We appreciate it. I will see you back on Thursday. Y'all have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, Judge, you too.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.